What's your need? Digital embroidery, branding of souvenirs, engraving on all materials, t-shirt printing. We got you covered at Creative Line. Contact Creative Line on 0244 695057. Creative Line, serving you is our passion.
Before the break, I said I was supposed to ask you a question, so we are back. So let me put in this question. But before the question, I would like to say this. You gave a lot of breakdown about South Africa's school system or educational system compared to Ghana, and I was really impressed with the breakdown you gave because I wish I had that kind of education or have been able to provide some for my kids. When we look at Ghana educational system, they're now trying to tell us there are things they've added to the new curriculum, which has not even been communicated to teachers, to parents. We don't even know much about. I think some of the schools here are trying to adapt the Cambridge system, which is similar to what you were trying to put up or explain, with the grade 1 to 7 and continue from there to A level, and all that. I think that kind of educational system is helping in today's mind. So when you watch the people here who are going for that kind of educational system, it's mostly the elite, like the rich, those who have money, because it's quite
mentality is
expensive.
different.
Yes. Because when you have an experience with people who went to such schools, you realize that their thinking is quite different from you going through the Ghana educational system. It's like the Ghana educational system has painted us in a way that it's about memorizing things and being able to write it. So if I'm not that kind of person who can memorize things and write them, then I'll not be a top student or classified as being brilliant in a way. There are students who are able to express themselves in so many ways. Let me see, maybe art or those people, like the way you say they do creative arts and teaching them how to dance. See, me, I don't even know how to dance for my life. Things like that could help those kids who have those talents. It's not everything which is school. Some people will end up being musicians, being instrumentalists. It doesn't make them worse off than those who go and become lawyers, doctors, and all that. For me, I prefer an educational system which will be able to pull out the best from the kids and being able to let them bring out what they can provide to the world, to change the world. For me, I don't have a lot of confidence in our system. Just that I don't have that kind of resources and money to say I'm taking into that 150,000 a year school fees. You get it? I'll prefer the ed tech. I have a friend who is now into the edu tech kind of education to teach kids and letting them bring out those aspects of. I think it's a good thing. Maybe one day you have to come back and help us reform our educational system. I don't know, but if you have plans, I think you should consider that. Coming back one day and helping us reform our educational system. Because they are not even adding we parents. I don't know, but they are not communicating anything to us and what they are trying to do to help the kids and all that. So it's a lot that we need to go into. So I'm impressed with the system. Maybe one day I'll end up coming to start basic grade 1 in South Africa one day. So okay, Mr.
Yeah.
Jakarta, over to you.
You see, we talked about South Africa, and you gave us you give us the difference between their teaching style and their how they go by educating their young ones. Now, I learned you've relocated to the US. Can you give us the steps how that opportunity also happened? So from Ghana to South Africa, and from South Africa to United States, how was the process like?
All right. Okay. So, as I said, I personally, I didn't even want to think about the US. right? Because after visa, interviews, refusals, and all that. Because sometimes you just go in there, you have all the necessary documents.
Yeah.
They will ask you a question, they just tell you you've been refused.
Yeah.
Like no question, nothing. So life was like by the grace of God, life was comfortable in South Africa. It was amazing in South Africa. But I now became a family man, so I had to think more about my family other than myself. So I realized that there were less opportunity um, compared to just me alone, like being successful. So then I now dived into like other ways, and then opportunity came up. Got a job interview, worked through that, and then here I am.
Oh, so just okay. So tell us the first step. So when you got
Right,
to
okay.
the US, did you start? You see, when you went to South Africa, you have to make sure your paperwork is clean and is good before you start
Yeah.
working. Did the same thing happen when you went to the US?
All right. So with the US, so with South Africa, I didn't go in there with like working documentations. So I had to
Okay,
change to get that. But with the
okay,
US, God being so good, I came here actually with documentations that would get me working directly.
okay,
So yeah, so I didn't really had to go through applying for working documentations because work was already there. I think that also made it easy for me to like go through the visa process easily because work was already there. So it's about you making yourself available and then starting to work.
okay,
But the
okay.
difficulty that I think most people would face. I think later I would come up and show you guys how you can land a teaching job in the US. Um,
Okay.
Now the thing is, when you get into the country, you need accommodation. You need to settle
Right.
down. So even though you have job, you're not coming in unless probably you have a job that is providing you with those facilities before you get into the country, which I barely think you would have that. Like on the scale of 1 to 10, it's just going to be like your chances are few. So when you get in there, you would have to get your own accommodation, you would have to sort things out before you start working. And it's not easy, but God being so good on my side, I had my elder brother here already. So
Okay.
by the time I got here, he had helped secure some of these things for me. That is from my side, but like other people I've seen come in, they didn't have it easy. So it was like a walk-in for me. So I got here, he picked me up from the airport because he wasn't in the same state I was going to be working. We actually got an Airbnb. He paid for it for like about a week. He stayed with me for like about 3 days. Got me everything that I needed from right from a singlet all the way to toothbrush, like almost everything. And then he had already secured accommodation for me. And yeah, so all we were just doing was waiting for the lease agreement to start, which was going to be like in within a week. So he stayed with me for like 3 days. He and his wife, they taught me a number of things that I know today that if I did not know, I don't think life would have been easy like those few days. So he taught me
Okay.
those things, and then after 3 days, they left, and I was on my own. And yeah, when the time was ready for me to move into the house, I did, which was like about 3, 4 days after they had left. So I just walked into the house and we had already purchased the bed, couch, and everything. So when I walk into the house, that's the very same day, I think, in the afternoon, the bed came through because here is different. It's not like Ghana, you go buy a bed and then same day delivery. Then you go get a bed and then you can get a delivery the following day, or you can get a bed after 1 week. So yeah, but you can get blow-up beds and then so that was an easy transitioning for me because I think uh, my brother made it easy for me. But I've seen people go through stuff and it's not easy, especially if you don't have anybody you coming towards to help you transition into the system. Yeah.
Let's talk about your first day in the classroom. What?
All right. So before I got to the US, I had taught for like I think about 9 years. I taught for like about 9 years in the classroom. So you can tell I've got like a number of years of experience.
Yeah.
But trust me, when you walk into the US classroom, after going through a number of trainings, after watching a number of videos, after doing a lot of research, you'd realize that when you walk into the classroom, you're like a day one teacher because the whole system is totally different. The whole system is totally different. But because I'd gone through a number of trainings, and then my niece also told me a couple of things to expect. The trainings also tell you a couple of things to expect, but you walk in and you go like, oh, it's real. So first day, walked into class. So their system was a little bit different. You have a class and then the kids come to you.
Okay.
You don't move from class to class. So you have a class and then the students come to you. So if you have like 6 periods, that means so in my school we had 7 periods. 1 period is planning. Like it's like what Ghana would say, oh, something like a free period.
Okay.
So first period group of kids came in, they were super amazing. Like they were all quiet looking at me. There were a few behavior issues there. Was okay. Second period walked in. I'm like, oh, I'm actually having a good day. They were also super amazing. And then third period walked in.
The gangsters came in.
You can call them that. Then they came in and I was trying to give them directions and what I expected of them because it's day one. You need to like build, like let them know what you expect of them. And then one girl just walked out, like she just got mad and just walked out of the classroom just like that. And I'm like, what do? I don't know what to do. Like it's so after school, I just went to my mentor to say that, oh, this is what happened. And she just smiled and she said, no, next time when something happens like that, like when a student walks out, just pick up your phone and call the front office and just let them know like a student walked out of your class. And then that is it. So
Ghana, the way to lash your back, I'm sure you return back to the
you
class.
will walk out.
A Jamita will lash your back and your brain will reset automatically.
It's totally different. Like here, the system is more of like it's more of like managing them. You would have to manage them.
Manage them,
you would have to manage them, relationships.
Yeah.
That is very so unlike our system in Africa where
you just need to show authority.
Yeah, kids respect everybody. They can go to everybody. The system here is different. Like everybody's a stranger to every kid. So if you're not even teaching the student, if the student is not like you in your class, they don't regard you as their teacher. You know their teacher, they don't know you.
No.
And even like with the students you have in your class, you need to build that relationship. You need to let them understand that like you're on their side, you're here to help them, you're here to help them grow, develop, and all that. So it's more of like managing, building before the teaching comes in. You can be advising a hungry man. You first of all have to feed them, and fully satisfied, you can now tell them what you want to tell them.
Okay, so before I asked you the comparison, the difference between Ghana and South Africa. So how was the difference between South Africa and the US?
All right. So the South Africa system is similar to the American system.
Okay.
Like there is similarities. So with the American system, now one thing is Americans don't believe you should go to school till you are 5 years old.
Okay.
So anything before 5 years old, it's depending on you, the parent, you'd have to pay for it.
Okay.
So if you want your kid to go to preschool, you'd have to get them into a preschool and you pay for it. And then in Florida, we have the VPK, that is voluntary pre-kindergarten, right? So the VPK is free. So that is a year before the kid goes to kindergarten, right? That is where the school starts. So when the school is like when you're around 4 years old, you get enrolled in there and then you go for free. And then, but anything before that, your parents should be ready to pay between $200 to like $380 every week for you to go to school.
It's a lot.
Yep. So if you have like 1 year old, 2 year olds, 3 year olds, and then you want to get them into a school, then you would have to be ready to pay that amount of money. But I think there are like counties that have programs where you can have your kid go there and you pay something little or it's free or something. But I'm just speaking on the general, on the average. If you want to go to preschool, you have to pay for it. And it's always between, if it's the age depends. So you're looking at between $200 to $390, $400 every week. So that's like about if it's even $200, that's like about $800 every month, which is expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So you
what are
from
some of the
there.
habits? Okay. No, continue.
So from there, then you can go like kindergarten, then you go do grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, grade 5, right? That is
Okay.
elementary school. And then now you move to middle school.
Middle school. Okay.
So middle school is grade 6 to grade 8, what Ghana would call class 6 to JHS 2.
Okay.
Then now, in their system, you could do like you do the core subjects, which are math, English, that is ELA, and then civics. Civics is more of like social studies.
Okay.
Yeah, like those are the core subjects. And then in addition to the core subjects, you now do electives, like you can do band, like you can do music, you can do acting, you can do dancing. You see the way the whole system is. So
Yeah.
you have kids in middle school who already learn how to play instruments.
Instrument. Yeah.
You have kids in middle school who already know how to dance professionally, ballet, all those kind of stuff. You have kids in middle school who already know how to draw artwork.
Yeah.
Because they do art. They have something we call CTE. CTE is like computer designing. That is like how to Photoshop a picture, how to create a picture, how to create an image, right?
Editing videos and stuff.
There you go. So as of middle school, the kid is equipped with all of this. I bet if you take a number of Ghanaians or Africans, how many of us can play an instrument?
No.
Yeah. Um, If I need to do some Photoshop or create something, I need to go get somebody like Eraser to do editing for me because I don't know
Yeah.
how to do it. But
Yeah.
here, as early as middle school, kids even learn photography. It's a skill, like they learn it in CTE, they learn it how to create a badge, so they get equipped with this. So one funny thing I would say is when I started working, like most of my colleagues, they design their here, you have to decorate your classroom. And it's not like you have to
Yeah.
make your classroom welcoming. You have to
Yeah.
decorate your classroom. You would have to
With
like,
some masks, balls,
yeah,
fans, and
so
everything.
and
Yeah.
people, even like worksheets you have to end. When I started working, people do that. Like, and I wonder like, how are you guys able to do this? Because back where I'm coming from, you have to get a designer to do those kind of things for you, right? But
Yeah.
here, like everybody's equipped, but working in their system, I now began to understand that, oh, it's a skill that people actually learn right from middle school through, like you have kids in middle school, you can give them work and ask them to do a PowerPoint presentation. When do you learn
Yeah.
how to do PowerPoint presentation? In our system, our time, you have to get to the university and then it's even going to be in a group. You might
Yeah.
end up not even
That
doing it.
one I even stand behind.
Yeah.
You right?
No, okay, you
But
don't
here,
end up doing it. Yeah.
You end up
here
not
you
even
can,
presenting.
yeah. But
Yeah.
here you have kids in middle school who are able to do PowerPoint presentation. Like it's amazing. So before they get to high school, and there are some courses like you can start reading nursing, you can start reading business, all the way in high school. So when you're out of high school, you actually have a diploma. So if you probably let me see, I think this movie oh, Mikano has this movie. It's one amazing movie. It's called
Elementary something something. Is it the
no,
elementary
no, no.
one?
It was one of his big time movies.
Love
Like
don't cost a
when
thing.
Love Don't Cost a Thing.
Yeah.
You saw how they were in high school and they were working on an
Yeah.
engine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is like a reality. Like
Yeah.
if you have people who are learning like education, early childhood, like teaching little kids, they learn that in high school. They don't need to go to the university to go learn that. So you can get out of high school and you have a diploma, you are fully certified to get a job to work. We have a technical school near us. And technical school Ghana would say like SecTech, right?
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
kids, they build beds, they build like furniture in high school. Ghana, the only time you have people doing that would be our visual arts students. And that is even,
They don't build. They don't even build nothing. They don't build. Yeah. No.
you see,
Unless
did
And
I?
even
you
with the
don't go to
building, when they
school.
even go there and they are going to build, they are like, it's time for siesta. They should go and sleep.
You see,
Have you
No,
forgotten
when you
when
so
you
go to
were
school,
doing
I learn.
this thing, night learning and all that? When you go to study beyond working study hours, they are like, why are you studying? Go back and sleep.
and
That's what
and
they
you
are
know
facing.
one thing too, I would say is like their system, they don't like teach you that one time and then you have to go take a test. So like let's say exponent in sixth grade, you have a bit of it you learn, then probably you go to seventh grade, you have a bit of it that is added up to it. You go to eighth grade, and then you have like a little bit of it. So of it, then you learn. So because I teach math, let me just use math as an example. So up until seventh grade, they build you up, and then when you get to eighth grade, you do what we call pre-algebra. So when you now do pre-algebra, then now when you go to high school, ninth grade, then now you now do algebra one. So they build you so they put you into like algebra class. Back home in Ghana, you just start off algebra, boom. There you go. If you're able to survive, that is you. If you're not able to
Yeah.
survive, that is you. And they build the kids on reasoning, not like the reasoning behind the learning, not do it and go. It's like the reasoning behind the learning, relating it to like real life scenarios. How would this play off in your real life situation? That's how their system is more of like they build kits for success. So if you don't go to like I said, you don't go to preschool or you don't go to VPK and then you start from grade one. The only thing is going to be those kids that went to preschool and kindergarten before you would be able to like know numbers like 1, 2, 3, ABC. They are able to write, but you would not. But in grade one, they are going to teach you how to do it. So they don't force the kids. Like Ghana, you see like a 3-year-old, and they are busy teaching them how to do things. The brain is not matured. So that's like we forcing it. That's why you realize that back in Ghana, theoretically, we 100%. But when it comes to applying it, so you have somebody being like a doctor in economics, but if you give the person an economical situation to analyze, it's gonna be a
Please,
different
you can't
story.
say that former vice president to make it.
I
You
didn't
can't say
say
that former
anything.
vice
I
president.
didn't
Beg
say
you.
anything. But you see here, you have little kids and like their reasoning. So it's different. I feel like we push maturity back home because things like you're 5 year old, they are expecting you to know this at 5 years old. No, here that's just here, like here the system works. Like when you go for a doctor's appointment, they go like, oh, at the age of 3, the kid is supposed to be able to do this and that. So if the kid is not being able to do that, then that means you're not going to be finding ways and means to make that happen. So back home, we don't really use systems. So say, oh, my child is 3 years old and they are not talking or they cannot read. Maybe that is not a stage. So if the system is between 3 and 4, the kid should be able to read. And then now the kid is not reading, then now the doctor will say, all right, go see a speech specialist, and then they help the kids to like grow, develop, and all that. But our system, we always push things like you're 5 year old and when they tell you you need to be able to wear your own clothing, maybe you're not in that stage.
Yeah.
Anyway, what benefits will you say the teaching there gives to you teachers, which Ghana is not providing for our teachers? Why everyone wants to migrate to the US too? Or maybe any benefits you guys are getting that we don't know of, that you can talk
You see,
about.
you should talk about what's the benefits he got when he was in SA and what he's getting now in the US. So that people will know that at least you can choose if you want to go to
Okay.
US and South
Okay,
Africa. South
then
Africa choose an abroad. So
I'll rephrase the question.
yeah.
So let me rephrase the question. What benefits are you getting from your teaching in the US compared to Ghana and that of South Africa? Which other way
Okay.
can you tell me maybe the benefits teachers there are getting compared to South Africa and that of Ghana, which maybe Ghana is not getting? That's why every teacher in Ghana wants to migrate to the US or maybe South Africa.
All right, okay. So let me just start it off with the real facts. So we all know how much teachers have been paid in Ghana, right? If I don't know how those in the international school get paid, but I think they would be better off compared to the normal private school and public school. Salary wise, I think teachers are better off in South Africa and then the US. I would take South Africa top notch because with South Africa, I'm just saying that that is a top notch because I'm looking at their standard of living and how much teachers make, right? Yep. So that is one of the benefits. You get better salary compared to what you'll be earning in Ghana as a teacher. But the one main thing I really see as like a great benefit is the personal development. Like you as a person, you grow in your profession. You as a person, you grow in your profession. you are not stagnant. It brings out the best in you. So, like the US, for instance, you as a teacher, you need to be creative. Like we're going back to school very soon. And as a teacher now, you need to be thinking of ways to build relationships with your students. In Ghana, if you don't even think of like what is going to happen first day, you just go to class and then you just do what you have to do. But here you're thinking of ways of how do I build relationships with the students? How do I make my classroom engaging? How do I get games into my learning, like teaching kids, like using games? Like I could just pick cards, normal cards we play, right? And use it to teach graphing, or I can even use it to teach exponents. I can use it to teach integers, positive, negative. So it brings out that kind of personal growth and development in you. And I think that is, if everybody's main aim is for them to develop personally, when you're in a career, you don't want to be stagnant. So I think the main benefit is the personal development and growth that you get. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
with
you talked
all
about
these three countries, which one will you suggest I migrate as a teacher? South Africa, US, or I should stay in Ghana?
so I'm
If
coming.
if
Let me get to the benefits. You talk about salary, you talk about growth. What about health? Do they pay for your health? Do they
Yeah,
when you're sick, what happens?
health benefit. Yep. Forgot to mention that. Top benefit is also very good. Like my county, for instance, like the district I work in, our health benefit is very, very good. Also, your pension is also very good. There are some other basic benefits as well, that like if you're a teacher, you go to some places, or like you're a military person, or you are a veteran, or you work in the health sectors, there are some places where you go and you get staff and you get a discount, or it's going to be
Okay,
free for you. Yeah, so those are some of like the benefit. Yeah.
okay.
But
And those
I just wanted to speak about like the
does,
main ones.
does those benefits extend to the if you're a family man, your kids, your wife?
So for instance, like with insurance, right?
Yeah.
You would have to put your family on insurance and they pay for it. It doesn't cover your family. You can add them to your insurance plan and then you pay for it. It's cut across all working sectors. Yeah, if I'm not
Okay,
mistaken. Yeah.
okay,
So
okay.
so it's not like Ghana. I
Yeah,
think I know where you're coming from. Like Ghana,
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
my dad, my
The
dad was
company,
working at
yeah,
my dad was working at Gasm, and then
yeah.
his health covers all of. So those are the things you would miss when you come to the US. No. So like you working, if you have three kids, your wife, and you put them on your insurance, you pay for it.
I see.
You
So
pay
the only
for
thing
it.
they take off, they only take off you. They don't
They
care
only
about the
take care
other
of
person.
you. No, they only take care of you. You can add your family to your insurance plan and then you pay. And then the funny thing is, and we're actually talking about health insurance, right? With the health insurance, it's if you have health insurance for like general medical care, you need to get one for vision. Vision is not
And
included. You need to
dental,
get for dental. So unless you buy a package which covers all of it. So if you buy the package which covers all of it, then that means more premium. You pay more.
yeah,
So this is where sometimes Ghana becomes interesting.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So here is your question.
Oh, yes, but um, my question is, which of these countries will you suggest I move to? Looking at the benefits coming
Me
in as
personally, me personally, I would always go in for South Africa.
okay. Why?
Because, yeah,
So I would go for South Africa because putting everything in general. One, cultural wise, right? Because
Okay.
South Africa, I would say it's more of like a blend of the US and Ghana for me.
Okay.
You have,
True.
you have a touch
Yeah.
of the American life and system, and then you have um, Ghana as well together, right?
Yeah.
And the standard of living in South Africa is top notch. The standard of living in South Africa is top notch. So let's say, for instance, let's say before I left South Africa, my net salary was around 33,000 rand, right? Which is like a lot of money. If anybody that understands the South African system, 33,000 rand. And we were living in like two houses. So paying like double rent and everything, double utilities and all that. But that wouldn't even add up to like 10,000 rand, right? So
Yeah.
probably with two rents and all that, you'll be running somewhere between 8,000 to let's say roughly 10,000. So if you take 10,000 out of 33,000, how much are you left?
So,
It's like
so
23,000.
in general, you say South Africa's cost of living is quite lower.
I wouldn't say it's lower because talking about myself, because somebody earning like 5,000, right?
Okay.
And that would be a challenge for them. So I'm just looking at like the teachers scenario. So comparing it to, and then that is comparing it to, let's say here on the average, let's say on the average, if you make like about 5,000 or $6,000 a month, right?
Okay.
Then your rent alone, that is if you live in as a person, your rent alone could be like 2,500 if you're a family
Like
person, because
half your salary.
you cannot have like a one bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
You cannot be sharing with somebody because you're a family man.
Yeah.
Your kids have to have their own room, right? That should take like almost half of your salary is gone. So and then probably your kids are going to preschool. You're looking at paying like 200 to 380 to 9,400 dollars every week. So taking that into consideration, you'd realize that most of your income goes into like expenses. So, but other than that, in SA, it's not like that. Like about depending on the expenses, you might not even go like half of your salary going into expenses. So yeah, looking at the standard of living. And then the other thing too is SA is more of like a touch of the US and then Ghana. So you don't miss home. But here it's solely like a different lifestyle altogether. You don't
Yeah.
have a feel of home, Charlie. Here you can be living in a neighborhood for like 3, 4 years, and then you don't even know your
Okay, so
neighbors.
yeah.
You've not even spoken to them. You can be working in a workplace, and then you don't even know the people you work with. If if you start somewhere, it's difficult to like get somebody to help you. But like SA is more of like Africa. When you start, somebody would like more of like Ghana actually. When you start,
Yeah.
somebody can just stop and say, "Oh, Charlie, do you need help with this?" And then they help you out. And here it's not like that. Everything you have to make a phone call, have somebody come take care of it. You pay.
Everything money. Everything money. Everything
Yeah, that
money.
is that is what I say. Like the system pushes you to like do people go like, oh, it's nice there, but it's the system. Like for instance, somebody say, oh, you have internet unlimited. Yes, you pay for it.
Yeah.
You can make phone calls. You pay for it. Like everything. So for instance, even if we take like insurance for now, right? You pay health insurance for yourself, you pay for your spouse, you pay for your kids. You also pay insurance for your car.
Yeah.
If you have a phone and then you don't want to lose it, you want to have it back, you pay insurance for it. And then, like for instance, you buy a TV, any appliance you buy, they'll ask you, do you want to pay insurance on it? So that when it gets broken, you are able to get one out of warranty. So everything you pay. Charlie. Even like a couch, you buy a couch, they bring it to your house. If you want them to just fix it, you would have to pay. So if you go to the shop, buy a bed or buy a couch, buy any dining set, there's a difference. You might get free delivery. Even the delivery, they've got like different types of it. Either they leave it at your doorstep, it's a different price. If they take it inside the house, it's a different price. If you want them to take it inside and fix it, it's also a different price.
I see.
We sew to suit your brand, with every stitch making your staff look exquisitely consistent, reflecting your brand in every corner. Be it overalls, corporate safety wears, lab coats, scrubs, polo shirts, aprons, and many others. At Prestige Clothing, we produce with durable fabrics that last you a lifetime. Locate Prestige Clothing at North Carnation Swan Lake. Contact us on 0244 695057. Prestige Clothing, your ideal clothing company.
So the question they go like, wait, at the camera, can see the question. Forget the question I want to ask yourself.
Why? Could you want flat one?
The full bed self.
They feel bad now.
Why? What time you go catch your razor in there?
Oh, you can't catch
I
like
can't catch
one or 12
The one
something.
no.
12 to
Some
someone.
part
Like.
I be your dead and then no far.
Some part be the blow for my eye top, so Charlie.
I be your dead and then no far.
You know, far, but
No,
the guy
no,
put
no,
some
no.
fan before in front. That's why there is in the
So
blowing.
if